I'll give you.
So, sometimes when I know that I have to get up early for work,
Yes.
and especially when I was doing the show like every Saturday morning, I would have trouble sleeping. Because
The night before?
Yeah, because I'd be like, oh my gosh, I have to get up at like 5:30 or 6. Or especially like now if we're going to take an earlier flight someplace.
Hold on. Do you guys hear her earring clicking that mic? Because it is so loud in my ears.
Do I want me to take it out?
Yeah, you got to take it out.
Everybody's going to wonder where my earring is.
Dude, they can't see your other ear. They'll have no idea.
And then it's going to be like, how come she's only wearing one earring? What is the subliminal message with that?
She's the devil worshiper. She's only wearing one earring.
Bum, 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 bum.
It's the mark of the beast.
Okay. Want to do it again?
Restart, yeah.
Okay.
Fix your hair on that side.
This?
Yeah.
This side?
Nope, that side.
This side? Mm-hmm. Move it back?
Pull it back, yeah.
Pull it back. How's that? Is that better? Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that better?
It does. Looks nice.
Should I do it again?
You can do it again.
Does this outfit make me look fat?
No, you look amazing. Let's go.
Yeah, that's always the answer. You just look amazing.
Right.
All right. So whenever I know I have to get up early the next morning, I
Yes.
set like at least one alarm, sometimes two alarms. Like, so let's say like if I have to do a show early in the morning, or if I know that I'm going to be taking a flight out, that I will set it for like, if I have to get up at 6, I'll set it for like 5:45
Okay.
and 5:55.
Smart.
Okay. So that this way I know at 6 a.m. I've got to be ready and out the door. Okay. So, but that didn't work for you today, huh?
I have 4 alarms.
4 alarms.
3:20, 3:30, 3:50, 4:10. Normally, I'm awake before my alarm at 3:20. This morning, for the first time in 15 years,
Gosh.
I missed the start of my radio show. They didn't call me. Now, I'm not putting the blame on them. It's absolutely my fault. But they didn't call me until 10 minutes after it already had started.
Well, that's when they noticed you weren't there.
I'm normally there like 45 minutes prior. So I was late for the first time in 15 years, an hour late. Because traffic, when you're leaving your house at 4:45,
There's no traffic.
totally different than when you leave your house at 6:30. And I woke up, ran downstairs, put the dogs out, threw coffee on, got stuff ready to go, took 2 slams of coffee. It was very hot. Took 2 slams of coffee, jumped in the shower, cleaned all the dirty parts, jumped out, dried off, jumped out, grabbed whatever clothes were available. This is all because I'm wearing shorts today.
I know, because that's what happened. As I
Yeah.
walked in, I'm like wearing a sweater and boots and socks because it's like 50 degrees in Phoenix.
I
And
was
you're
just-
wearing shorts and a T-shirt.
Top of the pile. What was ever on the top of the pile. Did not care. I was out of the house in 8 minutes.
Okay. Well, so here's the deal. How are you going to make sure it doesn't happen again?
I don't know. I think I'm going to go to bed right when I get home from this show and then just stay up in the middle of the night. It's not a problem. I wake up at 3 o'clock, 20 minutes before my alarm every single morning,
Okay.
even on the weekends.
Okay, so maybe we need to like think about this. Do you have do not disturb on your phone?
No. And I don't remember shutting the alarms off. I mean, it's worked every single day for the last 15 years.
Okay, but now you're going to be like totally freaked
Oh,
out.
absolutely.
It's like,
The anxiety tonight before I go to bed.
you're going to need like to get like a 25-pound weighted blanket. Okay, just not
I'm going to tell Google to wake me up. So I'm going to add that extra protection. I'll just tell my Google to set an alarm for 3:30 or whatever so that I wake up because I can't let this happen again. And I was crushed. No one
bet.
else cared. Literally, my program director, the vice president of programming, my
Whatever.
co-host, no one cared. And I'm like, I'm so sorry.
Well, so when Ian has to get up for a really important test or something like that, is he'll set all his alarms. Okay, but then he'll text me and say, "Can you wake me up at like 8 a.m.?" And so if I call him and he doesn't wake up, then I go into Find My
Right.
devices. And then, so like I can't find, like maybe he can't find his phone because we're under like this family plan.
Right.
And then I hit the button that says play a sound on his phone as if he lost it. So that this way his phone goes like womp, 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 womp.
You're such a good mom.
Okay. And so when I did that the first time, he's like, that was brilliant.
Really?
And I'm like, I no wonder why they call me the digital goddess. I mean, come
I
on.
didn't even know that existed.
No, it's absolutely wonderful. So if you're having trouble like finding anything or a person or having them wake
Need
up.
to get their attention.
Oh yeah, goes womp womp
I need
womp
to hear
womp
what
womp.
that sounds like.
Oh, it sounds like a nuclear bomb going off. It really does. It's awful. And on that happy note, welcome to Kim Commando today. I'm so glad that you showed up here on time.
Thank you.
Because after all, we are streaming everywhere under the sun that we can think of. Let me see. We have a new list: Facebook, X, YouTube, Twitch, Rumble, Spotify, or you can get us on Apple Podcasts.
Nice.
Or wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes.
And also, you can say, Alexa, play the Kim Commando Today podcast.
I actually read a story before I came in today that there's like this hierarchy of where you listen to your podcasts. And it tells what type of person you are depending on where you listen.
Okay.
If you want to be fancy smancy, make sure you're doing it on Apple Podcasts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, so like if you're like trashy, where are you getting your podcast?
You're just downloading them to an MP3 player that you bought in 1998.
You know, we actually got a question in our listener mail about that.
About downloading the podcast to an MP3 player?
I don't know who it was, but I think we helped them out.
Just rip the audio off? Oh, no, that might be illegal. Never
No,
mind.
we don't want to do that.
Edit that out, even though this is live.
And then on that happy note, I'm Kim Commando, America's digital goddess, as I said before. And I do go to parties. I do say, hi, I'm the digital goddess.
Do you know where the bathroom is for the digital goddess? I usually don't use the commoner's bathroom. I'm a digital goddess.
Exactly. And I mean, like vodka? No, I need to have like a high-end vodka for my lemon drop martini.
Whatever's on the top of the shelf, get the thing above that, please. Because I'm the digital goddess.
We actually did that at the Christmas party. It's funny you mentioned that.
What did you do?
Is that we're at the bar? Is that we put like all like the regular like booze that we were serving, and then as you went up, the more expensive.
That's how they do it. That's why it's called top shelf alcohol.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the best stuff's on the top.
Oh, wow, had no idea. Of course, you are Andrew Babinski. To
Yes.
everybody who is the uninitiated, there maybe this is their first time checking out the stream or checking out the podcast.
Yeah, I host a morning radio show here in Phoenix on iHeartRadio. It's called Beth and Friends on KEZ.
And he's a friend.
I am a friend. But, I co-host the show. I just don't, she's been there 40 years, so she can decide whose name goes in the title. Yeah, exactly.
Just the way it is. All right, so we have a lot coming up. We're going to talk a little bit in just a few minutes about the radiation in cell phones. Have that ever concerned you?
Never.
Really?
I mean, I've seen doctors say that men should not put their phones in their pockets.
Correct.
Because of the proximity to your baby maker. But I don't know where else to put it, so I just keep putting it in my
putting it
pocket.
there?
Yeah.
I mean, what if you might want to have like 7 or 8 more kids?
I have 2. And then I also have the inability to have children.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took care of that myself.
A little
Don't worry about it, cell
snipper
phone.
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not worried.
And then you've got a story about Hulu?
Yes. Well, no, it's not specifically about Hulu. It's about the fact that I pay for Hulu plus live TV plus, and I can finally get rid of that.
Plus.
I can finally get rid of that because there's a new streaming service coming out that I will absolutely sign up for day one.
Awesome. And then I've got news about Shimmers.
Shimmers?
Are not the same as skimmers.
Oh.
Yeah, a little new thing coming out. And then we have a question that we're going to be talking about. It's from a gal who is a social media influencer who's kind of like a poo-poo face.
A poo-poo face?
Yeah, she's not somebody that I would invite to my Christmas party.
Okay, so that means poo-poo face is connected to her personality, not her actual look.
No.
Oh, okay. I was visioning someone who had poo-poo face.
No.
Okay.
But she might. She should. Okay. And so speaking of letters from our listener, this came to us from Robert in San Antonio, Texas. Have you ever been to San Antonio?
No.
Me neither.
I lived in Texas and I never went to San Antonio.
Really? Where'd you live in Texas? I didn't know that.
Longview.
Longview? Yeah. Does it have a long view?
That's how they named the city. They went to the highest point and went, wow, that's a long view. And then they named the city Longview.
Is it near like Dallas?
Yeah, it's near Dallas. Okay. But it's not. I mean, it's a podunk town.
Yeah, one time we had to refuel someplace in Texas. I mean, it was just, I think it was like Amarillo or something. And I mean, I got out of the plane, it was like, whoa, there's like nothing here.
I was in a tornado in Texas once.
Were you?
I was moving someone from Jacksonville to Phoenix. And we made it all the way to Beaumont, Texas on the first day. And we get there, and I call down. I'm like, I need a wake-up call. This is another sleeping in story. I need a wake-up call at 5:30. At 5:30, and they're like, no problem, absolutely. Passed out because we've been driving all day. Wake up, it's 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, what the heck? And I call down. I'm like, we needed a wake-up call. We got to make it all the way through Texas today. What's going on? And they're like, sir, there was a tornado last night. Please look out your window. You look at your window. The Waffle House sign is destroyed. The windows are all gone.
When the Waffle House sign is down, you know it's bad.
But I slept through a tornado. There was alarms going off. People evacuated. We slept through the entire tornado.
You know, when I was younger, my sister would call me up. I mean, I have 2 sisters and a brother. And my sister, who's closest in age to me, she would call me like every Saturday morning at like 6 a.m. Okay. She's like, oh, good morning. How are you? And I'd be like, I just got in like 2 hours ago. Okay. So every Saturday she'd call me.
Why?
Because she was being mean.
Oh, it was really to be mean. It wasn't just...
No. She just wanted to be mean. And
Was she jealous that you had the party lifestyle and you should be up with her at 6?
Well, because she had a couple of kids.
Yeah, exactly.
That was probably, I didn't think about that. So it's finally just, she stopped calling when I answered the phone one day. And I just told her to go herself and leave me alone. And then it was like, oh.
All right, I will not do that again.
Okay, so Robert says he's concerned that his phone is going to give him cancer.
Right.
His wife says that he's being paranoid. What do you think? Thank you for your newsletters and pods. Helps me keep up with our 2 teenagers. It's nice. Okay. So the FCC says that we don't have to worry about anything.
Well, of course not. I mean, that would kill an entire industry.
Okay. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Okay. But, okay. A friend of mine years ago, and I was on the phone, and I had the phone up to my head, and he is a brain surgeon. And
What does he know?
Exactly. I mean, just went to like Harvard and all these other places. I mean, please. I mean, yeah, not that means anything.
Right.
I went to Arizona State.
She's a goddess. Goddess Trump's doctor.
Exactly. You know, I'll have to tell my eye doctor that. I'll do that. I need a new shtick for him too, instead of just looking at boobies, the right eye. So anyway, he looked at me, came running over. He's like, "Don't do that. Take your phone away from your head." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I can't hear it." He's like, "No, speakerphone or at that time Bluetooth headset."
So
And-
Bluetooth is safe.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he said that they were starting to see like large tumors and more instances of tumors on the right side instead of just on the left side.
Okay.
So I believe that. And then,
I'll be fine, though. I just don't answer the phone ever.
well, that's because you don't use it as a phone. You
Yeah.
have a phone, you don't use it as a phone.
I don't think I've taken a phone call since like 2013.
Okay, so here's the term. It's called SAR.
Okay.
SAR, and this stands for the specific absorption rate. Okay. Now you're going to feel so smart at the end of this podcast.
Smart or scared?
Both.
Absorption does not sound like a good word.
Yes. It's measured in watts per kilogram of body weight. Okay. You don't need to know all the details. Just know that in the United States, it's 1.6 watts per kilogram.
That's what's allowed, legally allowed.
Say it's safe. Okay. You know, in Europe, you'd think that it was lower because they always have like, oh, the Swedish are going to have these crazy.
Yeah.
It's actually higher.
Okay, so they allow for more.
Yes, it's 2.0. So here are the phones that emit the most radiation. Okay. The Motorola Edge.
Don't have it.
Okay. ZTE.
Nope.
OnePlus. Sony Xperia Plus. Then the Google Pixel 3 and 4. I was surprised about the Google Pixel.
Meaning you'd think that they would rein that in more?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Okay. These phones emit the least radiation. If you missed this list, we have it in our free newsletter.
Okay.
That you could have signed up for, but Andrew won't. Just one of those things. But we have a post on the website too. The least radiation is the ZTE, the Samsung Galaxy Note. It goes on fire, but it has the least amount of radiation.
There's some good, there's some bad. Where's the iPhones? You not mentioned they're in the middle? Just stuck in the middle?
Yes, iPhones are in the middle. Exactly. So we start the iPhone 11. It's 0.95.
Okay.
Okay, 0.98. Generally, they stay at 0.98. I mean, except for the iPhone 13's 0.99. Okay, so if you want to be safe, like you do, you just don't answer your phone.
No phone
You
calls.
don't put it
Just texting.
anywhere.
I'm just killing all my sperm. Otherwise, my brain's going to be fine.
But that's just it, is that there has been studies, number of studies, that say it does decrease guys' fertility. Women should never put it in a sports bra. I was climbing Camelback, and these 2 young gals were coming up, and I was coming down. and they had their phones in their sports bra, and I looked at them and I said, "You don't know me, okay? But I'm just telling you, I wouldn't do that."
And what did they say?
They like said, "Oh, it'll be fine." I'm like, "Yeah, that's because you're like 20, okay?
Famous last words.
Everything's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be fine."
So would you recommend for like hiking and outdoor activities one of those like arm cases that you throw it in there?
Yeah, you could throw that. Or, maybe if you had to put it like in your fanny pack.
Yeah.
But actually put it not in the front, put it in the back.
But radiation is fine,
Yes,
is what you're saying.
it's going to be fine. You can get like just a cheap bag. Or what you can do is if you are out and about, it's going to give you the highest radiation when it's looking for a cell phone signal. So,
Okay.
so if you're someplace where you are going to be hiking and it's just going to keep pinging,
Just turn it off.
just turn off that little and go into airplane mode.
Yeah, okay.
So
Good tip.
This is like great stuff. Again, if you want to see this list, we have it over at commando.com. And that's with a K, of course, KOMANDO.com. And while you're there, oh my gosh, what? You should be entering to win. Doesn't this shirt look like a Charlie Brown shirt?
That's what I thought it was when you walked in.
It does. I know. I'm like, I have total ADD. ADHD.
We have these new mics and you had to test yours, but I wanted to be like, wonk, 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 wonk.
Wah, 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 wah. I used to do that to my mother. How mean. Like she'd talk to me when I was a teenager. I'm surprised she didn't like hit me across the room. Is that she'd be talking to me and I look at her and go, "You know what I hear, Mom? You know what I hear? Wah, 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 wah."
And you guys had such a good relationship.
I think once we got past that whole teenager rebellion thing, and then it was like, I actually wrote my parents letters when I was like 21 or 22, and I have them in a box. She saved them all.
Apology letters?
Yes.
That's nice.
I did. I was like, I'm so sorry. I was such a poo-poo head.
And I'm sure that meant the world to them. If
No.
Ian's watching, send your mom a letter.
Just send him a little note. Sorry, I was a jerk. That was 312 times. No.
And text messages do not count. It has to be a real letter.
It should be a handwritten letter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't just Snapchat, sorry.
Go to ChatGPT. Can you write me a really good, empathetic, I'm sorry letter? I'm really sorry.
Dear Kim and Larry, I am so sorry for what I did.
I wasn't that, I would mouth off.
That's bad.
Yeah.
You're trying to give yourself a free pass here, but that's bad.
No, I didn't like run around. I wasn't a super slut or anything. I didn't go out drinking. It was just that I just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do.
But you're a parent. Would you be okay with, well, Ian's great and all, except for he mouths off all the time?
Yeah.
You would be okay with that?
No.
Exactly.
No, it would not be good at all. I got my mouth washed out with soap. It was, that's just the way it was. And so like, I'll never forget, I was like 12 years old and we went to Ireland and we went to the Blarney Stone. And have you been there?
No.
Okay. So it's the Blarney Stone. So like if you have to lean back in the castle. Okay, so you're on your back and you have to kiss this stone that's right there. So you're leaning back and you're kissing the stones like that's your head.
Okay.
Okay. And you have to, and somebody holds
Is that
your
the only
legs.
way you can reach it? Or is this the tradition?
This is the tradition.
Gotcha.
Okay. And so, and when you kiss the Blarney Stone, that you get the gift of gab. You get the gift of gab. So I'm 12 years old and my father's holding my legs. And I lean back and I kiss the Blarney Stone and I pull myself up and he looks at me and goes, "You're the last person that needed to kiss that thing."
They shouldn't have taken you there.
Exactly.
Isn't there a Chuck E. Cheese in Ireland they could have taken you to?
Someplace like that. Someplace like that. Commando.com/win. That's commando.com/win. All right. So when we come back, we're talking about the streaming service that, Andrew, you can't wait to sign up for.
It's not named yet, but I'll tell you all about it.
Bum, 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 bum. And then I'm going to talk about shimming. And then we have an interesting question about an influencer, from an influencer. Well, I'll have to explain that still to come. Stay right where you are. Oh, Kim told me to stop. I better stop right here. Hey, it's Kim Commando today. It's your daily fun stream and podcast about all things digital. Just a quick reminder is that we want you to share this out with at least one person. That's all. Just one person.
It's easy.
That's all. Just
Like 2 clicks
That's
on
it.
wherever you're watching the show.
And then also make sure that you leave us some nice comments.
I read the comments after every single show.
So I like the ones that I sent you today.
Yes, we got
I mean, they
2
came.
reviews.
Yeah, okay, they came in literally within like 20 seconds of each other.
So it was from yesterday's podcast, which was we talked to the online psychic.
Correct.
And the first one basically said, I only listen to the podcast, the audio version. I found out you guys are doing video, and it sucks. You had a guest. I mean, basically,
Yeah,
is what it
basically, yeah,
said.
yeah. He said, "I'm never watching it again."
No,
Never.
you had a guest on, and there was no interaction, and it was boring, which, whatever. And then the next one was from the good doctor.
Oh, doctor. So we were like, "Oh yeah, well, it's a doctor."
And they're like, I found the video version of the podcast. It's awesome. I used to only listen to the audio, and I kind of got out of habit. But now that I know you're doing the streaming video, I'm going to listen every day.
And watch every day.
Yes.
I mean, so it was just, but I thought it was just so funny that it was like,
Back to
sucks, fabulous, right? Just boom.
We'll go
Okay.
with the fabulous every time.
So make sure that you give us some great comments, good or bad.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we read and we reflect on both.
Some we just delete right after we receive them.
And some we just laugh at, but that's just the way it is. All right. So talk to us about streaming.
How much TV do you watch? Streaming, over the air, whatever. How much television do you watch per week?
Oh, maybe an hour a day.
Does that count like your morning news while you're
Yeah.
getting ready?
Yeah, because
Okay.
that's probably like 15 minminutes. And then if I am making dinner, if I'm not ordering out or going someplace, that's
Which is
probably
rare.
I know, no, it is. It's, you know what? It's gotten so much easier. It's like cook or Postmates, Uber Eats.
Where's my phone?
Okay, here we go.
So I pay for Hulu Plus Live TV because that's where I get a majority of my sports. Then I have Disney Plus for the kids. Then I have Netflix for the kids. Then I have Paramount Plus for English Premier League soccer because I love it. So that's 4 services that I pay for, well over $130 per month, which is what I was paying for cable. But I literally watch 3 hours of TV a week.
Oh,
If you don't count sports.
okay.
I watch a couple episodes with my kids of Survivor. That's our favorite show. And then maybe on a Saturday afternoon when I have some time to kill, I'll throw in a show. So I'm spending so much money and getting little back, but I have to, I use the air quotes, have to, subscribe to these services so I can get the sports that I really love. ESPN and Fox are getting together, and they are creating a sports streaming app.
Wow.
Major League Baseball, NFL football, NBA basketball, college football, pretty much everything, even the NHL.
But you're not getting at the NFL.
You will get NFL football
Oh, okay. Wow, this is a big deal.
through ESPN. So it's going to be limited. It'll be limited to the ESPN games. But if you're someone who's like, this is absolutely what I need because I'm a super sports fan, but I don't want to fork out $130 a month just to watch my soccer on the weekends, you could get an over-the-air antenna. That would take care of the rest of the football coverage besides Thursday night football. Everything else with football is free. And they haven't set a price yet or a release date or a name. But if I could even cut my streaming costs in half, that would be absolutely fabulous.
When are they gonna launch this?
I believe it's going to be in the summer.
How much do you think it's gonna be?
I think it's going to be $29 to $39 per month.
Really?
Right. But ESPN by itself, if you're not bundling it, is in the $15 range.
Oh, see, I always thought that was more expensive.
No, but nobody gets it standalone a la carte. You get it, like, it's a throw in for me for Hulu, as is Disney Plus. That's a throw in for me when I pay for that. But this is what for decades we've been saying, can't we a la carte it? Can't we a la carte it? And they finally said, okay, here's a la carte it. And we ended up spending the same exact money.
I know, it's so stupid.
It's so frustrating. But if you're a sports fan, ESPN and Fox teaming up together, and you're still, now regional sports, you're still going to have to pay for the regional sports. This is all the national games and the national broadcasts.
But what about my favorite sport? What about the sport that whenever I see it, I'm like, you know what? I love the competition. I love how the athletes, they handle themselves. And I sit there and I think it's just amazing. I mean, they have trained for years to do this sport, years and years and years.
Which one are you talking about?
You don't know?
I don't.
Curling.
Curling will be an Olympic event every 4 years and won't be part of this. There's no curling TV as part of this package.
Oh, gosh. You know what would be really great? A fly fishing tournament, because it would be a good live stream. Oh,
Are we
No.
going to talk about your job offer
Which one?
from the NBA Broadcast Network?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. Yes. So I've been contacted
Yes.
to be an on-air host.
LinkedIn thought you would be a great on-air NBA analyst on a streaming network. You.
I know. Isn't that exciting?
I said it in the text message to you. I would pay a monthly service fee just to see you sit down and try to talk about basketball.
Look at the big guy going down bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. You want to know what's so funny about that? Here's what's so funny about that is that when I was at ASU, obviously many years ago, is that I worked for ASU doing the statistics for the football game.
Oh, really?
Yes, I would sit there with all the other nerds in a calculator and go like, they'd say, we had like 10 passes out of 12 that went so-and-so yards. And I'd sit there and go, 22%. And so that the person who was on the air would say, oh, yeah, he completed that 22% of the time.
I can tell why, with your in-depth analysis of these stats, I can tell why they chose you for that position.
I think I was good at math.
Yeah, that's it.
See, and that was kind of like a weird thing too, is that the way when I was like, okay, no, so I'm glad I didn't have a child like me because it must have been very, very difficult. As a matter of fact, my mother would look at me when I was growing up saying, I hope you get a kid just like you one day. I hope you do. But so like when I was at ASU, I did really well at like, I remember one semester I had like some computer science class. I had physics, statistics and economics and accounting. And I got A's in all of them, but I got a D in accounting.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that funny?
That is funny. All those other ones sound like they're much more difficult.
They were.
Accounting.
I know. My father called me up and goes, I'm not sure what part of this we don't get with you, but how did you get a D in
Are you
accounting?
good at math?
Yes,
Okay.
I am. But I couldn't understand the whole balance sheet thing. And so even now, like running the company.
We'll just make more money. We'll figure it out in the
That's
end.
why people say like, do we have a budget? I'm like, no, we don't have a budget. Just don't spend money. We'll be okay. And that's just the way it is. All right. So coming up, I have a quick story about Shimmers.
Shimmers.
Shimmers. What do you think a shimmer is?
Sounds like some sort of like scary creature that haunts you in the night.
The Shimmers. Arr.
Be careful out there.
The Shimmers.
There's the Shimmers. They're coming for you, children. Am I right?
In a world. No.
No.
No. And then later, it's a new project that I'm going to be starting. And so I've been collecting these questions. The questions that I've been collecting are very, very interesting. So we're going to talk about just one of them here on Kim Commando today.
Cool.
Hey, it's Kim Commando today. It's your daily fun podcast about all things digital. I'm Kim Commando, and this is Andrew Babinski. And
That's not my name.
Babinski. Are you Irish?
Yes. I'm Irish/African, as you can tell.
It was the Babinski part that I got.
So Polish.
Some people ask if I'm Italian
Really?
because they think like Commando.
Oh, it ends with a vowel.
Is like an Italian name. And then I say no, like I'm like pretty much all Russian Ukrainian. Except for that, when I got my DNA results back from the Mayo Clinic, it's like there's like 0.4% Syrian.
Syrian?
Yeah. So I think somebody like went over and had a great weekend.
In Syria?
Yeah, and then came back.
Just brought 4% with them?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, here we are. All right. So over at Commando.com, you can enter to win and also sign up for our free newsletters over at GetKim.com. Once again, that's GetKim.com. All right. So you know what a skimmer is.
I have no idea.
You don't really?
No.
So a skimmer is this little gadget that they put on the gas pump.
Oh, that's what those are called.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that this way, when you put the credit card in, is that they can get a copy of your credit card. And so that's why, you always want to like go to the gas pump. If you're in kind of like a shady area, is go to the gas pump that's closest to the door or where the convenience store is because they're less likely to be tampered with.
I check it. I try and pull off
the
top every single time I do it at the pump.
Right. And so now that's called skimming.
Right.
Okay. So shimming is the thing that we all thought was going to be like super safe.
You sure shimming's not a TikTok dance?
It probably is.
Okay.
There's always a TikTok dance for everything. You should try to shim.
Is this shimming?
That's it. You know what? I wouldn't do that again.
No.
Definitely do not do that on a
I gotta
date.
catch my breath.
Don't do that on a date. Yeah, give that white guy's overbite, hands in the air. Oh, God, that's a vision. I can't get out of my head now.
You, me? No, okay.
No. Mike James used to do that. Remember? He used to do that.
All right, so what's a shimmer?
Is when you go to the gas pump and then you take out your credit card and it's got that super duper chip on it and you just tap it. Well, now there's a way that the bad guys can put a device on there so when you tap your credit card, is that they're going to get all your details.
So before it had to be the slide in.
And now you just tap.
Is it the same thing? It's a case over the top of the case?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you see like 2 of those, 3 of those, definitely just bad idea for you to do that. So what's the safest way to pay? Is to use your phone.
I was going to say cash.
But then you got to go in.
Oh, okay. So what's the safest, laziest way to pay?
Yeah, exactly.
Is use your phone.
Yes.
Now, why would phone be different than what the chip is emitting on the card?
Whatever. I think the hackers haven't figured out how to get into the phone quite yet.
So it's a different technology, a different communication device. Okay.
Yes.
I always use my phone at the gas pump.
So there's this gas station here in Phoenix on 40th Street in Camelback. It's a Sinclair station. I think this is just a great story. Is that that's the area in Phoenix where I live. And so there's a Circle K and there's a Shell and all this other stuff. And so I only go to the Sinclair.
Sinclair's got the green dinosaur logo?
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. And I only go there because it's like a locally owned gas station.
Sure.
So it's not part of Circle K or anything like that. So I've been probably going to this one gas station. I bet you because I've lived in the same area for probably 25 years. So, and every time I go, there's a guy by the name of Jerry there. And Jerry and I have watched each other age over time. And so he'll come out and say, "Hey, Kim, how are you?" And he's just super sweet. He'll like pump my gas for me.
Oh,
He
that's
checks the
sweet.
tires. And, and it's not full service. There's no extra charge for this. And so I noticed that there were some signs coming up. So as you drive by the gas station, it says, "Honk if you like Jerry."
Oh, is he retiring?
So that's what I thought. So I'm like, so of course everybody's going by, and it's funny because you hear everybody go honk, honk, as you're going by this guy's gas station, or and he's he's the manager of the gas station. He doesn't own it. So the other day I pulled in and I said, so what's going on here? Because the bays are closed where you guys were repairing the cars, and he's like, they sold the gas station to somebody else, and I'm like, oh. No, does that mean you're out of a job? He's like, no. He said the new owners realized how much everybody in the community really likes me and how much I love doing my job. I mean, he literally comes out of that little convenience part and then comes out whoever's getting gas.
Right.
And he always has a smile on his face.
Sure. Amazing customer service.
Yes, 100%. And he said, so they're turning the bays into like a high-end like convenience store.
Right.
And they're going to rename the gas station instead of Sinclair. It's going to be called Jerry's Gas Station.
Are you serious?
Yes, isn't that so sweet?
So it's still going to be privately owned,
right?
It's not going to be a Quick Trip or a 7-Eleven.
It's going to be a Sinclair, but they're renaming it. It's going to be big signs are coming up that will say Jerry's Gas Station.
That's so cool.
I know. I thought that was so sweet.
How old is Jerry? Like 60s, 70s?
He's probably in his 60s.
Okay.
But he said that his mom and dad saw him on TV because the local channel did a show on him, and he was and his mom and dad were like so excited to see him on TV.
What a smart move by the new owners.
Exactly.
Way to stay connected to the community. That's really cool.
Instead of like saying like put up another sign.
What if they then branch out, they get bigger, there could be Jerry's all over the country.
As long as they can find a Jerry.
Oh, you have to have it. That's the rule. You must have a Jerry
some
working
guy
there.
has to at least wear a little uniform that says Jerry on it.
Do you mind changing your name from Fernando to Jerry?
You have to be Jerry. You have to be Jerry. All right. So coming right back, I have a letter. And it's a project, and I'm not going to talk too much about a project.
Okay.
But it's a letter that I've been looking for letters and questions on the internet for a project that I'm working on. And this one is especially insightful into maybe what's going on inside of an influencer's mind.
Okay.
So we're going to be reading that. So stay right where you are. See?
She's back to saying it.
I know, I'm sorry. We were just talking about gas stations here on the show. Do you remember when you would go to the gas station and you'd be able to like fill up your car's tires for free.
Oh, yeah. Now it's $2.
Yes.
$2 for 1 minute of air.
Isn't that crazy?
It's disgusting.
Do you know why?
No, I don't know why.
Because of inflation. Oh, you stepped right into that one.
Seriously.
That you,
You caught me good. I was not expecting that. Usually the jokes come at the end of the segment, not the beginning. Changing it up. You got
yeah, I'm
me.
just mixing it up.
I love it.
Hey, make sure that you share out the podcast and the stream. And if you start doing it, then I can stop saying this, okay? So if you want me to stop begging you to do it, just do it a few times. I mean, at least once or twice.
It's easy. It's also a good show.
It is. It's fabulous. Okay, so I have a project and I'm looking for questions like these.
Have you pitched for these questions, or are you just monitoring the questions you get and hand selecting the ones that
I'm monitoring them, the ones that are maybe on Reddit,
Okay.
as well as the ones that I'm getting.
Okay.
And so if you're watching or listening and you have a question that is not like, what type of iPad should I buy?
Sure, like
You know,
consumer advice and
yeah,
stuff
or
like
it's
that.
not like anything to do with your business. I want it to be more like an emotional connection.
Okay.
Something that may have happened to you in your whole digital sphere that you'd like to know more about. Okay, so here's this one that I found. I have a good amount of Instagram followers who keep me updated with what's happening in my life. Who I keep up. Wait, let me start over. I have a good amount of Instagram followers who I keep updated with what's happening in my life.
Okay.
A few weeks ago, I was in a restaurant and the manager was giving one of the waiters a real dressing down. So I picked up my phone and I live streamed the encounter. It turns out my cousin's friend's boyfriend was the waiter in the video and he actually lost his job.
Okay.
My cousin asked me to remove the video, but it's already getting a lot of attention, so I really don't want to do that. Okay, that's the first part. And then I'm thinking maybe I did something wrong here. My friend has been losing weight steadily since January, and last night she sent me a before and after photo, and honestly, I was really so super proud of her. I uploaded it right to my story, and I wrote about how inspirational she is to me and how I support her through this journey. Well, my phone blew up with messages last night from her and mutual friends telling me that I was just a total piece of crap, which is incredibly frustrating because I really was just trying to be nice while providing my fans with some uplifting content. I have ambitions to be an influencer one day, and I know that as you become successful, you lose friendships. But I really think that everybody's overreacting. Am I doing something wrong?
Wow. I mean, it's two totally different realms, right? You're filming complete strangers, but in a negative situation because you knew that this guy was getting yelled at.
Oh, yes.
And
Yes.
you're doing it to your gain. Then-
Because you want likes and
right,
views.
exactly.
And shares.
And she said in her letter, she's not yet an influencer. This is something she's aspiring to be.
Right. She's trying to be, so she's trying to get the right content out there.
Right. And if the content is what people who you are connected to personally, or the downfall of complete strangers, what kind of account is this?
Yes. I mean, especially if like it's your cousin's friend's boyfriend.
Right.
I mean,
within nanoseconds, I would take that thing down.
yeah, so she's not taking it down because she said that she wants to give her followers great content. Now, what about, I mean, if I sent you a before and after picture of me
Right.
where, you know, once I was 200 pounds and now I weigh 110 pounds.
Right.
Okay. And then you put that on your social media, I would feel like violated.
Well, absolutely. First of all, I would never do that. That's just not within. I barely put up pictures of my kids because I'm worried about personal life. I would never do that. But if I wanted to do it, I would ask you. I would say, Kim, you look amazing. That's unbelievable. Do you mind if I post this? I think it's really cool. And if you said no, it wouldn't even be an argument. And we're not family. We're just friends.
So now she doesn't want to take that one down either.
No, she's very selfish.
Yes.
And I would not understand. I would hear her argument a little stronger if she had already had a following. But she's just using these people to
get it.
gain a following. And the minute someone says, take that down, I take it down. I've had that happen before in the past where I've posted information about something within my company that I didn't know was in public. And I put it up there and I got a text message within a minute and a half like, hey, you got to take that down. We're not allowed to say that. I didn't say, well, people are liking it. Tough. I just deleted it.
So when we were in the Bahamas, after the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So we were sitting by the pool, and Ian said, "Can I have your phone?" I'm like, "Sure." And so he knows my passcode, which is 000000. I know I'm embarrassed to say it's the same password as Kanye West, but
So secure.
it is very secure, very secure. And so he hid all the photos of himself on Facebook and hid all the photos of himself on Instagram.
Now, he did it on his own. Would
Right.
you have done the same thing if he'd asked?
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Of course. And I asked him why, and he's like, well, because some people are making fun of him what he looked like when he was 11 or 12. And he's like, and now, I'm trying to get a date. I'm like, okay.
But it's also, too, you're not trying to benefit. You're putting it up because you're sharing your family.
Right.
You're not going, hey, maybe this will lead to an ad for A1 green whatever drink that I see on TikTok every 10 minutes. If this is your family and your friends, you got to delete it immediately. Whatever question she asked, am I wrong? Yes, you're absolutely wrong.
Okay, so I think that these are really interesting questions. I mean, because it's real life, and this is what's happening. So if anybody is watching or listening, and something like this, or not like this Instagram, or something that may be happening in your life, I also have another question that I found, which I'm not going to get into because maybe we'll use it someday, but she's 32 years old, and she was driving in her car and her iPhone went off, and it said that there was a AirTag in the car. And then she tracked it down. It was her father who said, she said he's always been overprotective of her.
Okay.
So then she called him up and she said, so where's the AirTag? He's like, I'm not going to tell you.
Wow.
You got to find it.
That's an unhealthy
I
relationship.
know. I'm like, oh my gosh, that'd be bad.
The reason why he had to be so overprotective is because he has a horrible relationship with his child.
Exactly. So if you have any questions like this, make sure that you head over to commando.com and hit that link that says email Kim. I know I'm all over social media, but the best place for you to get me your questions, it's pretty old school. You have to go to the website and hit the link that says email Kim, because that's where I read every single question and comment.
Do I just want to make sure I'm clear. Do I have the permission to post a picture of you at 300 pounds? Because, I mean, you look great now. It's
I
such
know.
that Ozempic is so powerful.
You know what? Yeah. I mean, I lost 190 pounds.
Overnight.
It was just amazing. I haven't eaten for months and months and months. My blood sugar's low.
Yeah, but those are all things no one cares
And,
about.
and now when I do marathons, I sing, Ozempic. See, there's that singing. See?
So talented.
I am. I could have been. See, the psychic said I was going to be a rich and famous singer one day.
Yeah, that's what she said.
All right. So thanks for being here. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to share it out. Don't forget to also enter to win that $1,000 piece of your Mac over at commando.com/win. I'm Kim Commando signing off. And so is
Andrew Babinski. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.